I am so looking forward to a restorative class. All right, so let's start just sitting up on the middle of your mat. If you want to put a cushion for yourself, just something to let your hips relax a little bit. And this will also let your spine get a little longer, which might also free up your neck and shoulders. So just sitting on something low. And you can cross maybe at your ankles, let the feet tuck in under your legs. And let's just take a moment to sit here, get comfortable, feel your weight, start to move into your sitting bones. And close your eyes. So just for a moment, let your eyelids rest. And feel that the eyes inside the sockets are settling down, getting nice and still. And start to pay attention to your breath. See if you can lengthen out your inhales and your exhales. Now with your next inhale, go ahead, let your chin float up a little bit and feel a stretch in the front of the throat. And then let your chin move in and down and let the weight of the head stretch the back of the neck. So let's try that a couple of times. You'll inhale, letting your head float up, feeling a stretch in your throat. And then exhale and slowly let the top of your head come down so that the head stretches your neck. Inhale up one more time, nice and slow. And exhale, let that come down. Let's inhale back to a little neutral neck. Just ever so lightly, slightly, take your chin towards one shoulder, then the other. And now you'll feel the sides of the neck stretch as your chin floats back. Good. Good. Let's pause here with your chin right over your sternum and let your head move to the side. Ooh, the neck can lengthen on one side. Weight of the head stretches the neck. Let it come down to the other side. So if you do this nice and slow, sometimes you get little adjustments in your neck. Just pay attention to all that tissue. Good. And then let your head return to the neutral position, right over your tailbone. Really ground the weight back in your sits bones and begin rolling your shoulders. So just feel what you've been holding on to today. See if you can use some exhales to let it go. Good, and we're gonna move the shoulders up and around, taking it the other way. Maybe feeling a little bit more separation in your scapula. Let's now pause. Bring opposite hand to elbow, and then let the arms move across your body, creating a little twist and a little stretch through the backs of the arms. Use your exhales to deepen your stretch. Just pulling the arms lightly, side to side. Good. Let the arms return to your center and then take them up overhead. Rest your arms for a moment on the top of the head. Good. And you can start to bring your fingers interlaced back behind the head. Open the chest. As your chest opens, you feel the armpits stretching, your neck completely relaxed. And then let's let the head come down. We'll inhale, bring your head right back up, and then begin reaching your ribs side to side. Good. So this side to side motion, start noticing too the weight of your torso is creating a stretch in your back, particularly in your upper back. Your exhales can take you down to each side. Inhale can energize you, take you up. Let's sit all the way up. Now take the arms overhead, opposite hand to wrist, and then pull that arm, stretch to the opposite side. Inhale, coming right back up. Pull with the opposite hand, opposite wrist, coming to the side. Inhale, coming right back up. Take your hands to your two thighs. Inhale and let your sternum bone move forward. And exhale, the head comes down. Try that a few rounds. Inhale. And exhale over. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, rounding over. Inhale, sitting all the way up once again. Good, and now from here, let's unfold your two legs and sit once again. Just back up on your sits bones. Good, we're gonna inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, the arms come up. And exhale, twist to the opposite side. So just pay attention to how your spine feels as you twist. Feeling your postural muscles guiding you. Good. Again, let's pause on one side for a moment. Check your neck and your shoulders. Let them open and relax. We'll inhale, float the arms up. Find ourselves on the other side. Hold for a moment. Good. Check in. Make sure your neck is nice and free. We'll inhale the two arms up and now pull an elbow towards your knee. Sit tall and then exhale opposite elbow to knee. So we'll just take this a few rounds. Inhaling up. Exhale, reaching the ribs and the side body over. Good. Nice light movement. Let's pause on one side. Bend the top arm and then let it sweep here. If it feels nice to let your head go, you can do that. Good. Changing the direction. And once again, coming up and then letting that opposite arm just sweep in a circle. Good. And taking that arm the other way. Let's inhale, sit up. Slide one leg out. I've got my right leg moving out. Tuck the left leg in. And now reach both hands towards that leg. And we'll inhale, sit tall. Good. Now reach your body away from that leg. Good. Again, letting that arm float, hang there in the shoulder socket. Inhale, coming right back up. Let's exhale, change the position of the two legs. Take a big breath and exhale, over your leg, the extended leg. And then once again, inhaling up, stretch your torso away from that leg. Good. We'll inhale, pull ourselves back up, let two legs extend. And now bring your fingertips forward. You can practice rounding and extending the spine here. Letting the hips open. Good, and then let's just scissor those arms, stretching all the way around. This time you can take one hand to either side of the leg. Good, pushing back with your hands, big stretch. And then once again, we'll walk the hands around, creating a little firmness, connection with the floor till you reach the other leg. Inhale, we'll return our arms to center. And exhale, sit it all the way up. Tuck two legs in. And take your two arms up. Opposite elbow to knee. Press with the arm and let your back move slightly just away from the legs. So you're feeling a stretch in that intercostal area. And then we'll inhale, sweep, take the arms up. And same thing, you'll really press back with the bottom arm. Feel a deeper stretch. Inhale, take two arms up and two legs out. Good. Folding over, Paschimottanasana. Letting the weight of the head just melt. Beautiful. And then as you feel ready, walking your weight back up, let's slide off of our prop. Slide that to the side. And then we can start making our way down on the mat. So I'll let my right side face the computer. I'm going to come stretch over my legs, let my head go. And now see if this stretch goes beyond the neck and in between your shoulder blades. You can provide a little support by hugging in with the inner thighs. And then we'll inhale, sit up. And exhale, begin to move your weight back and draw your knees over your chest. Take a moment here just to get centered. So I'm going to let my legs move right and left. Just a couple of times, a gentle action. Good. Let's open our arms into a T shape, and then you can grow this stretch, maybe even letting the knees come to one side. Exhale, lifting, knees to the other side. Exhale, lifting. Good. You can inhale as the legs slowly lower. That'll provide you a little control. And then exhale, lift them up. Inhale over. Exhale in. Good. So now let's bring your arms up. And you're going to just let the arms and legs circle together a few times. Reaching away from the body. Good. Now they can circle back towards the body. Good. Your breath will help your movements feel more stable. Good. Let's pause and let one arm and the opposite leg reach away and then pull back in. So the opposite arm and leg reach away and pull in. Reach away and in. Reach away and in. Reach away and in. Good. Let's take two arms and two legs out and float back in nice and slow, steady, easy. Two arms and legs out, and then a floating action back in. Reaching out, 2, 3. Good. And then from here, let your right leg come up. Your arms can relax on the floor. And then let's let the right leg just circle by itself. Steady, easy, even. Good. And then you can let it circle the other way. Good. Pause. Rotate the knee joint out and in. So you just feel the rotation in the hip socket. Good. And then we're going to fold the knee. Good. And then now you'll rock the two hips. So you'll let the knees travel to one side and back and up. Good. Holding that same position. Through your foot. So you're just letting the hips stretch, your low back stretch. Good. Now from here, hug the legs up and wrap your hands around your left thigh. And really feel the right hip stretch open. From here, extend the left leg. Continue to let your chest open. Good. And then the right leg, let it lift up and then fold down towards the floor. And then you'll open your two arms and then let this left leg now begin a little circle in the hip socket. Good, and then you can change the direction all the while really keeping the belly stable. Let's pause with the leg in the air, rotate in and out. Hold the rotation out and then let the foot now come to the thigh and then just lightly rock the hips side to side. You can inhale as you come up and exhale, let the legs travel. Inhale as you lift, exhale, finding release. Good. We'll inhale back to your center and then use an exhale to sweep the legs up. Take your hands around the right thigh. Take a few breaths now to move that right thigh a little closer to you. This is going to stretch and open the back of your left hip, around the gluteals, the external rotators. Let long breaths deepen your stretch. And then we're going to exhale and extend this leg. Good. Just holding the leg up. Good. A little stretch in the hamstring. Now let's unfold the opposite leg. Take your two hands here back behind the legs, and perhaps maybe let the legs come up. So maybe letting the tailbone rise up from the floor. It's a big stretch. Begin to let the tailbone move back down as you open the knees, and maybe bring the feet together. Good. Give this just a few full breaths. Good. Now we'll let our hands come to both feet. Let one leg stretch to the side. Good. Feeling that through the back of your leg. This might feel good after gardening all day. Inhale. By gardening, we mean cleaning up our dead plants after the ice storm. Oh, and then from there, bring two legs in. Let the soles of the feet come together and let the hips open here on the floor for a moment. You can let the shoulder blades pull together. Your neck, your whole spine can lengthen up as your femur bones open out. So we're going to squeeze your knees in now, press your feet into the floor. And from here, just lightly rock and roll the toes, the balls of the feet, and the heels back and forth into the floor. Good. So feeling that space where you've got energy underneath your big toe, underneath your pinky toe, and in the center of your heel. Good. Let's now just lift your right foot, circle that ankle a few times, and circle it the other way. Good. Setting that foot down, opposite side lift, and circle the ankle. Mine are very chatty. And circling the other way. Good. Now spread the feet out into the floor and your heels, and then you're going to push the feet down. Lift the pelvis up. Give this a few breaths. Good. Feeling the knees squeeze parallel. And exhale, release those bones back down to the mat. We're going to come back up. This time, if you want, walk your feet a little bit closer to your sits bones. And once again, you can kind of roll through the ankles, roll through the balls of the feet, creating strong connection there. And then exhale, lifting. If you'd like, clasp the palms. Walk the shoulder blades underneath you. Give this Setu Sarvangasana 5 to 10 breaths. We'll exhale, release, let those bones come back down. Take your right leg up, and then let's just lightly bicycle the legs, reaching through the heels. Bicycle the other way, feeling a little stretch in your hamstrings, good work in the knees. Pause now, both knees bent, feet on the floor. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, roll onto your side. So you're going to come face the computer. And let's just work the inner and outer leg on your top leg just a few times. Let the leg open up and release back down. Open and then release. Wonderful. Let's hold that leg open. And now your arm, your elbow, and your knee. Then reach together and then reach away from the body. So just a floating action. Inhale, reaching away. Exhale, pulling in. Inhale, reaching away. Exhale in. Inhale, reach away. Exhale in. This time, hold the leg in. Take your hand now to your ankle and let the knee joint stretch behind you. Good. Bring the knee joint back up, facing the sky. Slide the hand down the leg to any amount. The bottom leg can also extend now. We're really feeling the shoulder blade drop in the down the back, and the humerus bone lands in the shoulder socket. So now you'll bend your top knee. Take your top hand to the bottom hand and stretch over. Go really press the top foot into the thigh. And now let the top knee travel forward. Top arm can circle. Let it circle the other way. And then the arm travels behind you. Let the bottom leg lift up a few times. You just feel that connection, your inner thigh. Good. And then from there, let your whole body relax in this twist. Use one more big full exhale, pulling yourself up. Good. And then you can place your hands underneath you. Inhale, come stretch over and round your weight back. Stretch over and now rounding back. Stretching over and rounding back. Let's sweep your arms up and find ourselves on the other side. We'll do that sequence on the other side. So coming to rest here for a moment. 2 knees bent, top hand at the hip. Just open and close your knee. Good, move slowly, feel that work through the inner thigh and the external rotators. Good, so now we're gonna keep, keep the knee open and bring elbow and knee together and reach away from the body. Elbow and knee together and then you reach away. Good, so feeling a stretch in your armpit, a little stretch in the hip. Good, and then we're gonna pause with this hand here at your knee, tuck it in, move it towards you for a moment. Hand now to your ankle, stretch the leg behind you. After your next exhale, go ahead, bring the knee up, hugging it up once again. You can extend your top leg. And now extend your bottom leg. Just hang here, stretching for a moment. Enjoying that energy in the back of the knee. You can press your bottom leg down into the floor. Good, and then we'll use an exhale to press your top foot now into the bottom one and your top arm into your bottom hand. So those energies, that pressing down helps you find stability in the joint and also a stretch. Good, now after your next exhale, go ahead, take this arm up, take your top knee, let it come stretch forward. And now your top arm's gonna circle a few times. And it can travel the other way. Good, we'll let that arm come back behind you. And now the bottom leg can lift up a few times. Good, and then from here, just let all the limbs relax and a little twist. And then after your next exhale, you can pull yourself into a little fetal position. And then we'll push with our arms, bring ourselves up and stretch over and exhale, rock back. We'll stretch over, exhale, rock back, stretching over and exhale, rocking back. Good. From here, go ahead, just push that weight back and come onto all fours and take a little cat-cow. So let your breaths be full. Last that range of your movement. And then begin to steady your hips and pelvis and let the hips and pelvis move back just a hair. Good. Feeling your lumbar curves supported by your abdominals. They're pulling up. Good. Let's go ahead and pause here and back. Let the big toes come together. Let the thighs melt, relax into the floor. Few breaths. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Virasana. Pushing down with your hands, lift the head. Walk your hands around to the right and then place your left hand on top of the right. Give this a few breaths. And then once again, pushing down with your hands, you'll inhale, look up, and sweep, taking your weight to the opposite side. And now pushing down with the hands, lifting the head once again. Bring your two arms forward, walk them out and maybe just as wide as your mat. And then you can begin to let the hips kind of melt and move forward. And then push that weight back, let the top of the head come down. Take a breath. And then when you feel ready, find that undulation through the spine once again. Coming down easy, controlling that weight with the abdominals. Exhale, pausing, resting if you'd like for a moment on the top of the head. And then as you feel ready, finding that undulation once again. Let's try one more of those. Letting the hips just melt. Good. And now from here, slide your right leg forward and lean the left leg back. Your foot can kind of rest around your opposite hip. Good, and let's take a moment and make this a deep back bend, so your abdominal stretch. Good. Exhale, now walk, maybe coming down onto your elbows. As you're here, you can rock your hips a little bit side to side. Notice your stretch will deepen as your left hip bone comes down. That'll get all the way in here, this area here. Good. You can take that a couple of times. Good. And then if it's feeling nice, you go ahead, rest on the floor, letting your head come down. And then using an exhale, we'll once again push with your hands. The head come up. Walk your hands a little bit closer to your body. Reach your hips back. Let the head come down for a moment. If it feels nice, kind of wag your tail side to side. And then when you feel ready, go ahead, slide your opposite leg, the left leg forward. And once again, you'll just kind of let your weight settle in here. And lengthen the opposite leg out. Very nice, everybody. And then you can stretch, take some weight back. Letting your head perhaps drop back a little. And then from here, go ahead, take your hands, let them, your forearms come down to the floor, and you can rock the weight a little bit side to side, letting your back lengthen out. And again, feeling that deep stretch. Through the back of your bent leg into the hip. Good, and then as you feel ready, let the two arms come down and just rest for a moment. And then we'll push once again, just gradually up with your arms. Walking your hands back, giving some firmness to your arms. Slide the leg back. Let the head come down. And once again, just wag the tail side to side. If it now feels nice, you can tuck one arm underneath you and get a big stretch. Exhale, bringing that back in. Opposite arm tucks underneath you. Then inhale, come back up. And if there's any other little movements on this plane you like to do, maybe letting the forearms come down and your knees lift. One knee stretch forward, one knee back. Letting your heels reach away from your toes. Maybe even letting the top of your head come down. And now from here, you'll just bring the knees to the floor. Walk yourself up and then let the hips come down. And let's start moving our way back to the floor for a little Shavasana. So before we go, Pada Konasana, let the heels come together, sides of the feet come together, and then come and stretch over. Good. We'll inhale, come up for a moment, and exhale with this left leg. Let it float back, and you can let your torso come down. So you're just stretching the inside of your hip. And then we'll push with the arms, switch the position of the two legs. And now let the forearms come right back down. Letting your breaths kind of melt that tightness away. Good, so from here, I'm just gonna fold that up once again. And for my Shavasana, I'm gonna put a blanket, or I'm sorry, like a little poof here under my shoulder blades so I can feel my head and neck just release. Good. If there's any final movements you want to take, go ahead and take those now. If it feels nice to lengthen the legs out. Let your breaths get long and low. And the muscles in your face just melt and soften. Let your exhales relax your jaw, your brow. And then when you feel ready, go ahead, bend your knees. And we can roll onto one side. You can rest for a moment. And then when you feel ready, go ahead, push yourself up into a seated position. We'll bring the palms together before the heart. Bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste. Yay, we're back.